Romain Rolland was born in 1866 in the small town of Cramsey on the Central Plateau of France. He received a good education since childhood. He moved to Paris with his parents when he was 15 years old. He graduated from the École Normale Supérieure in Paris and obtained the qualification of a middle school teacher. Most of his early works were based on heroic events in history, trying to fight against obsolete dramatic art through revolutionary drama. At the beginning of the 20th century, his creation entered a new stage, and he began to write biographies of famous people, such as the biography of Beethoven, the biography of Michelangelo, and the biography of Tolstoy. These works aim to set spiritual examples for the world. Among them, his novel Johann Christophe is his most famous work. The novel won the French Academy Literature Prize in 1913 and won him the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1915. Romain Rolland is not only an outstanding writer, but also an active social activist. He fought unyieldingly for human truth, democracy, and light throughout his life. He was a writer and social activist with wide international influence. He fought unyieldingly for human freedom, democracy, and light throughout his life. He was a writer and social activist with wide international influence. Romain Rolland died near his hometown of Clamsey on December 30th, 1944, at the age of 78. His works and thoughts still influence readers and scholars around the world. With his outstanding literary achievements, profound ideological connotation, and strong humanitarian spirit, Romain Rolland became an outstanding representative of French and even world literary circles in the 20th century. His works not only have high artistic value and cultural significance, but also have a profound impact and inspiration on future generations. Romain Rolland's life was a relentless pursuit of ideals and a profound exploration of the human spirit. His works and social activities left a valuable legacy for future generations. In today's era full of challenges and opportunities, we can still draw strength and wisdom from Romain Rolland's works and thoughts, and work hard to pursue a better future. No one shakes the trees that don't bear fruit, and only those that are fruitful are hit with stones. A person's character determines his fate. If you like to maintain your character, then you have no right to refuse your opportunities. There is only one kind of heroism in the world, which is to still love life after recognizing the truth of life. Fatalism is an excuse for weak people who lack willpower. Most people die in their 20s or 30s because after this age, they are just shadows of themselves and spend the rest of their lives imitating themselves, repeating them day after day, more mechanically and more pretentiously. What you do, what you think, what you love and hate during your lifetime. No one reads for the sake of reading, but to read oneself in books, to discover oneself in books, or to check oneself. True light is never a time without darkness, but it is never obscured by darkness. The real hero is not that he never has humble sentiments, but that he never gives in to humble sentiments. Life is like a torrent. Without reefs, it cannot stir up beautiful waves. There are some things that you cannot tell others. Some things that you do not need to tell others. Some things that you cannot tell others at all. And some things that even if you tell others, you will regret it immediately. The most terrifying enemy is the lack of strong faith. Blessed are those who have nothing, for they will gain everything. When you know you are not the only one suffering in the world, you will feel less pain and gain hope in the midst of despair. The heaviest burden in life is not work, but boredom. No one is completely happy. The so-called happiness lies in recognizing one's limits and being content with them. No effort will be in vain. Perhaps there will be no news for many years, but suddenly one day you will find that your thoughts have had an impact. There is some good that comes out of every disaster. The pendulum of life always swings between two poles, and happiness is also one of the poles. To stop the pendulum at one of its poles, the only way is to break the pendulum. Believe in yourself first, and then others will believe in you. You must fight yourself to conquer yourself. Don't sigh for the past time. On the road of life, the best way is to look forward and never look back. Doubt and faith both are necessary. Doubt can destroy yesterday's faith and open the way for tomorrow's faith. When a person is not afraid of self-inflicted suffering, it is the strongest time for love. The more people I know, the more I like dogs. Grief makes people extra sensitive. Good and evil are two sides of the same coin. Life does not sell round-trip tickets. Once you leave, you can never come back. It is clear that the future does not belong to those who hesitate, but to those who, once they make a decision, will persevere and never give up until they achieve their goal. Instead of spending a lot of time and energy digging many shallow wells, it is better to spend the same time and energy digging one deep well. Only by turning the feeling of complaining about the environment into the power to make progress is the guarantee of success. If a person wants to help the weak, he should become a strong person himself, instead of becoming a weak person like them. He who kills his thoughts is the greatest murderer. Young people without ambition are like kites with broken strings. They will only swing around in the air and will eventually lose their future. The more you lose, the richer you are, for the mind creates what you lack. Live with books and never sigh. Life passes quickly and an opportunity never comes twice. You have to make a decision now or never ask for it. Love is a duel. If you look left and right, you're screwed. Freedom has always been the most expensive of all wealth. People often feel that the preparation stage is a waste of time. Only when a real opportunity comes, and they are unable to grasp it, can they realize that their lack of preparation is a waste of time. The temporary is reality. The eternal is ideal. Mercy is a loan, and it is best not to abuse it for the sake of caution. We should observe carefully in order to understand. We should work hard to understand in order to act. If someone misses an opportunity, it's probably not because the opportunity didn't come, but because the person who was waiting for the opportunity didn't see the opportunity coming. And when the opportunity came, he didn't reach out and grab it. Even if you know half the truth through your own efforts, it is better than knowing the whole truth by following others. If you want to monopolize the truth will laugh at you. The most beautiful scene in the world occurs when we miss our mother. A person can only lead the way for others, but cannot walk for them. When the past no longer illuminates the future, the human heart will wander in darkness. The numerous traumas are the best things life can give you, because every trauma marks a step forward. Genius is bound to have obstacles, because obstacles create genius. There is only one truth in the world: be loyal to life and love life. Some private words spoken in a heart-to-heart relationship may be used as weapons by confidence in the future. A person's pain comes from two aspects. One is the lack of personality. The other is too strong a personality. It is healthy to let the young leave a little feather among the thorns. The pessimist may be right in the long run, but the optimist will have a better time on the road. The so-called hero is someone who does what he should do. However, mortals not only fail to evaluate what their abilities can do, but also hope to do things beyond their abilities. Even in the ugliest child, there is something new, endless hope. Recognize the world and then love it. Mother's love is a huge flame. No one is complete. The so-called happiness is to recognize your own limits and stay within yourself. Life is a hard struggle, and you can never take a break. Otherwise, all your hard-earned gains may be wasted in an instant. For a woman who is never willing to lose her virginity to anyone casually, her body is proud, and her body is more difficult to eliminate resentment than her mind. The backstage boss of politics is always money. Men are easily deceived as long as someone flatters them and satisfies their pride and desires. Artists who are full of fantasy are even more easily deceived. The abandonment of independent thinking lies at the heart of all misfortune. It's not that I care about politics, but politics always cares about me. It is very beneficial to use appropriate entertainment to regulate fatigue after overwork. I obey reason, and if necessary, I can sacrifice my friendship, my hatred, and my life to it. People can't live by feelings alone. People also have to live by money. Why do we have life? To conquer it. Someone who is unlucky today may be lucky tomorrow, so a shrewd diplomat always leaves room for the future. Harsh words, like red-hot iron, leave a deep mark. Even if we are motionless, time is moving for us, and the passage of days is enough to take away the illusions we hope to keep. Why should you be too sober in life? A hero is someone who does what he can for everything, which ordinary people cannot do. There's only one truth in the world, which is to be loyal to life and love it. For success, 99% hard work and 1% genius are not enough. 200% moral character must also be guaranteed. The so-called order means that you are not allowed to do what you want to do, and you are allowed to do what you don't want to do in order to see things clearly with one eye. The other eye is destroyed. The problem is justifying it with facts. Without facts, reason is worthless. When people abandon their faith, they are likely to move into superstition. People say that a woman is half a man, and this is true, because married men only have half a man left. Life is like a parabola. The peak of luck is often the beginning of misfortune. Sometimes someone else's casual words can change a person's life. The only great thing about marriage is the only love, the mutual loyalty of two hearts. A person should do something wrong in his life. If he does something wrong, he will gain knowledge. If you pull off the green fruit abruptly, what you will taste is definitely not sweet. Children who play with soap bubbles are always greedy for the beauty of soap bubbles and are willing to endure the sorrow of disillusionment. A person is filled with all kinds of lies from birth until he matures. The first step for him to mature is to vomit and spit out all these lies. When the will is silent, instinct speaks. When the soul rests, the body stirs. The most docile husband breeds the most violent wife. Absolute freedom for an individual is madness. Absolute freedom for a country is chaos. A coward will hand his friends over to the executioner. Perhaps the most unbearable pain is wanting to do something but not doing it. No matter what clothes you wear, you are still the same person. The first act of life is the act of creation. It is more interesting for a woman to be able to make a man lose his mind.